Hello friends, welcome to Programming in Your Hands Part 18. This day we are going to see about pointers in C++. Yeah, what do you mean by a pointer? Pointer is nothing but it holds the address of any variable. So this is a normal variable var which is equal to 50. Suppose for example if you take int var, the value is going to be 50. This is the value of a normal variable. And now the memory address of a normal variable is 1001. Pointer is nothing but it holds the address of a particular variable. And here you can see that this pointer has its own address 2047, which means this 2047 is the memory address of this pointer variable 1001. So in this case we say int star ptr. So this is going to be a pointer variable which is called as ptr, which has the value 1001. This has its own address location as 2047. So remember, pointer is a variable in C++ that holds the address of another variable. Now how do we access the variable? For example, if you take var1 is equal to 11 and var2 equals 22. Now, if I want to just output the address of that particular variable, I will use an operator which is called ampersand. Ampersand denotes the address of operator. Suppose here in this case cout and var1, which will display the output of the address location of var1. So this is going to be my value. This is the address location of var1. And in the next line you can see cout and var2, which gives you the address of var2. And you can see this is a pointer variable which we saw earlier, ptr, which is pointing to an integer. Now ptr is equal to ampersand var1, which means I am telling that the address of var1 is now in ptr. Now if I want to print the value of that particular ptr, I should use a star here, which means the value of this particular PTR will be displayed. Now what does this PTR hold? Just the PTR holds the address of VAR1, which is same as 0x7FFE4DCA6570. But I don't want that ampersand, I want a star. That means I am going to display the value of this particular PTR. Now what is there in this address? Yes, the value of that particular VAR1 is there inside this address. So what is VAR1? 11. So in this case, cout star PTR, it will display the value of that particular variable. Now you can see PTR equals ampersand VAR2. Okay, now what does it mean? Now my PTR is holding the address of VAR2. Now you can see cout star PTR. Now whenever you see star PTR, the value of this particular PTR will be displayed. So what is the value of this particular PTR? PTR is the address of VAR2, which is this one. Now what is the value of this particular PTR? Yes, 22 will be displayed. So the output will be 22. So you have a star operator, which we call it as a dereference operator or an indirection operator. You have ampersand, which is called as the address of operator. Okay, this is how we normally access the variable. You can see another example over here wherein you use string. Now string food, which is equal to pizza. Now I am saying that this PTR, this is pointing to a string, which means this PTR is equal to the ampersand of food. Now what is food? Food is pizza. What is ampersand of food? The address of that particular pizza. Now that is my PTR. Now what is the difference? You can see cout food. What is the output? Pizza will be my output. Okay. Now cout ampersand food, which means the address of this particular food will be displayed. You can see over here 0x6DFED4. Now see out PTR. Again, what does my PTR hold? The address of food. So what will be my display? Yes, yet again the address. Suppose I want pizza to be printed. What do I do? Yes, see out star PTR. Hope you have understood the concept of using star ampersand. Okay, now you can see again using character. You have var2 and integer var1. Okay, so now you can tell me, see out address of var1 variable. See out ampersand var1, which means the address of variable 1 will be displayed. You know this. And similarly, if I say see out var2, now you can see that I haven't asked or given the value of var2. So instead, if I use see out ampersand var2, it displays the address of that particular variable too. Okay, so this is the address of that particular variable too. Okay, so now yet another example. Here you can see some specific differences. You can see int where equal to 20, int star IP. Now what do I do? IP, which is pointing to an integer. This IP equal to address of var, which means now the address of this particular variable is equal to IP. Okay. Now when I say see out var, 20 will be displayed. Okay, now see out IP. What is IP? Address of VAR. So the address will be displayed 0x. It will be all in alphanumerical values. Okay, 0x BFC 601 AC. Okay, now see out star IP. Now, what does this indicate star? Which means it prints the value of this particular variable. So now what is this value of this particular variable IP? Yes, 20. So now 20 will be displayed. Hope you have understood the concept. Now you can see pointers and arrays. You can see here a concept which says see out star of int array plus j. You can see star of int array plus j, which is same as int array of j. You can see an example over here. It is nothing but int array of j. So if I say int array plus 0, which mean it is int array of 0, so 31 will be displayed. Int array plus 1, which is nothing but int array of 1. You have a star over here, so the value will be displayed 54. So similarly, 77, 52 and 93 will be displayed. So you have to understand that star int array plus j is nothing but int array of j. Okay, and there is an important concept which you call it as this pointer. This pointer, what does it do? It displays the address of an object. Till now, what we were seeing was it displays the address of a particular variable, but this pointer, it displays the address of an object. Okay, now coming to your main program, you have where w1, w2, w3. You have three objects. Okay, it searches for a constructor. You don't have a constructor here, so it goes to the next line, w1 dot reveal. So it searches for a function for w1 called reveal. Yes, it is here. Now what does it do? My object address is, you can see just a keyword which is called as this. Now this will display the address of this particular object w1. So now what is this object? Address? Yes, you can see over here. And again for w2 dot reveal, again it goes over here. My object address is this. Now when it sees this, which object's address will be displayed? Yes, w2 address will be displayed. Similarly, when it sees w3 dot reveal, which address will be displayed? W3's address will be displayed. Yes. So this is how we access a variable using this pointer. You can see an indirection operator over here, a hyphen and a greater than symbol. So which means this nums, this object's num is equal to num. The object's character is equal to this character. So this is how we denote. So this is how we access the variable using this pointer. You can use this keyword over here instead of that particular object obj, which mean it is instead of obj you are just using this. Okay, this is how we access a variable using this pointer. Now coming into a very important concept which you call it as memory management operators in pointers, you have to remember that there are memory management operators. There are two memory management operators. One you call it as new, which creates a new memory space, and the other one is delete, which deletes the memory space created by the keyword new. Why does it so? So to avoid the wastage of memory, dynamically the memory is allotted or allocated during the runtime. So that is why you use new and delete and you call it as memory management operators. This is done only during the runtime. The memory is created only during the runtime. Okay, we see an example over here. Okay, coming to the main program, always comes to the my compiler comes to the main program. Int num, you can see enter total number of students. C in num, so it is asking for total number of students. I am typing num. Float star ptr, which means my pointer variable ptr is pointing to float. Now you can see the keyword over here, new, which means my ptr equals new float of num. So you know already there would be number of students, maybe 2 or 1, whatever you would have given. So a new memory space is allotted dynamically. And then immediately you are calculating the GPA of students using a for loop. For every student you are getting the value and you are displaying them. So you can see a keyword which is called as new, which means it is dynamically allotted for that particular time. Okay, so what is this delete ptr does? This returns the memory back to the OS. Whatever memory that has been got during the runtime, it has been returned using the delete operator. That is why you call this delete as a memory management operator. So you have a new over here and you have a delete over here, which acts as a memory management operator. Okay, so now this is how your output would be. Suppose I am entering 4 as the number of students. Now you are asked to enter the GPA of students using a for loop over here. So for the student number 1, student number 2, student number 3, student number 4, all these are float values, and then you are telling it to display again using a for loop. So all these will be displayed. So this is how we use the memory management operators. And the most and very important concept is a pointer to pointer. What is meant by a pointer? It holds the address of a variable. Now what does this pointer to pointer mean? We'll see a simple program for your understanding. Now you have int main, int var, which means my var is going to be integer. It has its own value 3000. Okay, so now you have int star ptr, which means this star ptr, it is a pointer variable which is pointing to integer. And now you have this star pptr. So now you can see this figure wherein 3000 is inside var, this var is inside ptr, this ptr and together is inside pptr. Okay, so now in the first statement you can see ptr equals and var, which means the address of variable is stored in ptr. Now in the second line, the address of ptr is stored in pptr. Okay, so now first I want the value to be printed. So what do I do? Cout var. In that case, value 3000 will be printed. And now I want using ptr the value to be printed. So now how do I do? If I'm typing just cout ptr, you can imagine what will be displayed. Yes, the address will be displayed since you are writing ptr is equal to ampersand var. So address will be displayed. But I want this value to be printed. So in that case, I am using a star over here. Okay. Now you can see the next line, cout add star pptr. Now if I am using pptr, what will happen? Just cout pptr, it prints the address of this particular variable. And if I'm using star PTR, what happens? The address of this PTR will be printed. But when I want the value to be printed, because it is inside PTR, so I will use star PPTR, so that 3000, the value will be displayed. And this is the concept of pointers to pointers. Hope you would have understood the concept of pointers to pointers too, a very important topic in C++. See you again.